I think I'm recording now, so here we go. I'm in Photoshop. I'm going to show you a few things. It's been a while since we've done some little tiny black and white edits. And this is what we need to do to get our 20 pictures of the light project ready to go on our Google slide presentation. So hopefully you can watch this little video and kind of jog your memory on how to do all this stuff. So this is a photograph that I took on my phone. I Google Drived it to myself, sent it to myself. And then I was able to log on, download it, and then get it up on Photoshop here. So one of the first things I'm going to do is I'm going to resize it because it's too big. I guarantee whatever you take your photos on, phone, camera, they're going to be not the right size for what we want. So let's go image size, and see that 72 resolution. I'm going to change that to 300. And I'm going to go up to this width, the biggest dimension in my image, and I'm going to change it to 10. Now, you can see that it also changed the height to 7.5, and it was formerly like 20 something. The reason that happened is because constrained proportions was clicked, and so was this bracket click. So then I can hit OK. Now before I hit OK, I want to show you this. It was formerly 22.9 megabytes, shrinking down to 19.3 megabytes. It's actually not a huge size reduction, but we're going to do some things to it, and then at the end we're going to save it as a JPEG, and it'll be considerably smaller. Okay, so I'm going to hit OK. All right, now the next thing I want to do is I want to turn this black and white. Now the way I used to do this with you guys, and I've showed this to you before, is image adjustments, black and white, where to go, right? And there's some things you can do and change on that, but there's a better way. There's a more non-destructive or cleaner way to do this. And I actually learned this by watching a student mess with this, and I wasn't real familiar with it. Adjustments. If you don't have your adjustments window, which is right here, open, let me show you where that is. Go up to the top, go Window, and go Adjustments, and that'll open this up for you. When I click this little icon, which is a box that is half black, half white, hence that it is black and white, it is going to add a black and white adjustment layer mask on top of my background layer, which means my background layer stays completely as it is, raw, unfiltered, unchanged. It's just I'm kind of tinkering with this mask layer, which happens to be black and white. Very cool. Okay. Now what I like about this and doing it this way as opposed to the old way, if I want the reds in this photograph, which is only the iron and the backboard here, to get darker, I can affect just the reds, right? Now everything else in this picture is predominantly blue. It's not changing. I mean, look at the sky. I've totally changed the backboard. The sky is staying almost completely the same. Now if I wanted to change the sky, I would just kind of get into the blues and kind of mess with that a little bit. The reason I like this more than burning and dodging is you're not really altering the image. You're doing all your edits on a layer mask. And if you don't like it, you can turn it off or you can modify it more. Whereas burning and dodging, I mean, you're kind of set in stone, right? So I've kind of played with some of the color levels here, and I'm pretty happy with this. So I'm going to just hit X because I'm done. Now, let me show you. I can turn this off. And now I'm back to my old image, or I can turn it back on. The other thing I want to show you is if you click this box right here, not the actual mask part, but this one, I can get back into what I did. I did a 37, I did a 121. I can modify this more if I kind of change my mind, which, burning and dodging you kind of couldn't do. So maybe I change it to a 33 instead of 37, whatever. Then I can hit X again, and it saves all those changes, which is pretty cool. All right, so I'll show you one other thing just really quick. This is review. You could go, let's see, image adjustments levels, which is Apple L, which I do like. I would have, you can do this beforehand, afterhand, which is kind of a contrast thing, making your whites a little more tense, making your darks a little darker, changing your midtones, right? So now that wasn't much what I did. I'll hit Apple Z to undo it so you can kind of see like there it was before, there it is now. I feel like the sky's a little bit lighter, a little more vibrant, so I kind of like that. I'm pretty happy with this image, and I think I'm ready to save it as a JPEG and put it on my Google slideshow. So I'm going to go File, Save As, and remember, don't get in here and call it basketball net and then delete the .psd. You have to go into the format and hit it as JPEG, and it'll change it all for you. Now, I can change the title. I can call it, B-dub basketball for black and white basketball. Okay, so what, right? That's fine. But don't ever mess with the dot extension whatever. I can save it on my desktop. Better yet, you could save it on your jump drive, so then you have it. You can get it onto your Chromebook. I mean, once you have it to this point, I'll just leave it on my desktop. You can do the rest of your work from your Chromebook. I'll hit save. Now watch when I save it as a JPEG, just to remind yourself. Okay, I'm going to save it at 12, maximum size. This is on my desktop. I'm going to minimize Photoshop, minimize Chrome. And if I go to B-Dub Basketball and I hit Apple I, it'll show me that was 2.6 megabytes. Now, before I saved it, it was 19 point something. So that really shrunk this down, and now we're ready to take this image, bdubbasketball.jpg, and get that on our slide presentation. All right, and then remember, that's got to be uploaded to Schoology. All right, good luck, suckers!